welcome to ET Now. You're watching Buy Now, Sell Now with me, Kanishka Sarkar and Ankita Saxena, a show where we'll take all your stock-specific queries with our experts. But before that, a quick look at the markets. Ankita, yet again, we are just 2 points shy of that 25,000 mark.
Yes, absolutely, Kanishka. We are just 2 points shy of the 25,000 mark. But the interesting point to note is that we do manage to scale those 25,000 levels. But the more important thing is that are we going to sustain it? So that's the bigger question. Are we going to sustain the 25,000 levels? We are, like Kanishka mentioned, just 2 points away from 25,000. We did manage to scale those levels. We cooled off from there and we are hovering around those levels. So very range-bound trade that we are seeing coming in. But Nifty Bank is a different story altogether. Nifty Bank saw a gap down opening today, unlike Nifty. Nifty Bank is still reeling under selling pressure with cuts of almost 0.4%, 226 points down is Nifty Bank, and that is hovering around the day's lowest point right now. So Nifty Bank is not really lending support here. In fact, you have AU Small Finance Bank, ICICI Bank, big banks like HDFC, Kotak Bank, all of these banks are trading with cuts of 0.5% in trade. So that's really pulling the sentiment down as far as the banking pack is concerned. But what's really doing well today is Nifty IT. Now remember, Nasdaq has rallied yesterday. In fact, all the tech stocks, all the semiconductor stocks are seeing a lot of renewed interest. On the back of that, we did see that jump up coming in Nasdaq, and that is what is passing on. That's seeing a domino effect in Nifty IT as well. That's seeing a re-rating. That's up and away 1.5% in trade. Look at Infosys, Emphasis, LTI Mindtree, Tech M, TCS, Coforge. These are all trading with gains of over 1%. In fact, the entire IT pack is in the green right now. FMCG pack is another basket that is doing very well. We have Colgate Palmolive, the Varun Beverages, Marico, Britannia. These are all trading with 1.5% gains coming in. So on the losing side, we have the financial services, the media pack and the pharma pack. These packs are not doing well. And like I mentioned, Nifty Bank is reeling under selling pressure today. But let's look at the broader markets then. Broader markets also lending support to the market. They are cushioning the markets today. Mid cap is trading with gains of 0.2%. Small caps also trading with gains of 0.2%. So I would say largely, advanced decline ratio is also tilted in the favor of advances. It's a positive day coming in for the market, but very, very range bound, if you will, on the frontline indices.
All right, absolutely. Very, very range bound. We have touched that 25,000 level finally, Ankita. Let's see if we hold on to that. But to discuss this further and to help our viewers answer all their stock-specific queries, we are now joined by G. Chokulingam, who's the founder and head of research at Economics Research, and also Hemen Kaparia, who's the technical associate at DR Choksi Finserv. Hi, gentlemen. Very good morning. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Hemen sir, let me come to you. Finally, we have hit the 25,000 level for today. But going forward in the week, do you think this level is sustainable? Because we did hit it yesterday, but we ended below that point.
Very good morning to you, Kanishka. Very good morning to you, Ankita. Thank you for having me on the show. I think it's the third day that we've come to the 25,000 level, maybe go slightly above it. So I believe that we look like closing about 25,000 today. That being the case, I think a 200-point upside is very much possible. The VIX is sanguine. We are below 12. And there was a bullish gap because of the weekend and the GSP announcement. So thing is that bullish gap, normally the market has a tendency to cover these gaps. Now it hasn't done that. So I take that as a positive. And like you said, third day we are at 25,000. I believe this time around it looks as if we're going to work on 25,000. But yes, a close above that today is necessary. I think that happens. 25,212 seems like a distinct possibility this week itself.
All right, a close above 25,000 is what we are hoping for, and that perhaps could, help gain some momentum on the index. But let's get going with all the questions, all the stock-specific queries that you are sending us in. The number is flashing on top of your screens. Please send us your questions, the buying price, the holding period, and your stock query, and we'll get them answered by our experts. So let's get started with all the questions that you have been sending to us. Let's begin with the first question for the day. This is Jacob, who's writing in from UAE. He says that he holds IRCTC. He says that is this share good for long-term investment from a retirement perspective for the next 5 years? Can he accumulate these at the current levels? Mr. Chokalingam, this is a 5-year period that he is talking about, IRCTC. Is this a good stock? Because the railway stocks, the last time we saw this huge rally coming in, the railway stocks were leading from the front. But now what do you see for IRCTC for the next 5 years?
Short term, it may not give much return. Valuation is still stretched, trailing P of over 40 times now, despite the stock price correction. However, for a long term, yes, there are very good chances that one can get a decent return, because from next budget onwards, we can hope to see a lot of allocation to railways, and stock also would improve its financial performance from FY27 onwards quite significantly. So therefore, it's a buy for a long term.
All right, so a buy call coming for long term when it comes to IRCTC. But moving on to the next question then, Emin sir, let me come to you for this one. This is Amol asking about DMart. He says that he bought 50 stocks at a price of 4,664 rupees. Of course, he's sitting with some profit, very little. But he says that there's not been, a lot of momentum lately in this particular stock. So what are the levels that we need to watch for this one? Any target that you can suggest?
Yes, I think firstly keep a protect profit at around 4540. If that breaks, you sort of exit. The stock looks good. We've consolidated for 4.5 months, and now we are finally breaking through on the upside. So as of now, it's a very clear hold. We are heading towards 4,900. And if we do take out 4,900, another 150 point upside cannot be ruled out. So as of now, things are looking hunky-dory. 4,900 seems to be on the horizon. Hold.
All right, so that's the view coming in on Avenue Supermarts on the tech check. But let's move on to the next question. This is D. Mazumdar, who's writing in from Orissa. He says that he has 350 shares of Airtel that he's bought at a buying price of 422. Shall he add more or book partial profits? Can he hold it for the longer term? Mr. Chokalingam, a big news coming in on telecom sector. In fact, the entire telecom sector is in focus today. It was also yesterday, after Jio changed its plan. Bharti Airtel today also cancelled its base plan, and also this is likely to improve their ARPUs going ahead. And this sector might see a re-rating. That's what the analysts are penciling in. What is your view on Bharti Airtel?
Yeah, certainly. In the short term, this kind of stocks may even go down 5-10%, but for long-term investors, it doesn't matter at all. The market structure is favorable to Airtel. There are only two dominating players. Vodafone is quarter after quarter losing the market share, and the market structure is highly favorable to Airtel. And B, it's a consumer oriented, it's a growth sector, and C, the government is also going to be a gainer of growing revenues of telecom players, because they have a share in the in the telecom business. So considering all that, and also growing population and growing GDP, everything favors well for telecom companies in the long term. So it's a very simple common sense just to hold it for long term, and one can even buy Airtel in case there is any 5-10% fall in the price.
Okay, so that's the view on Airtel. But moving on, let's take stock of the next query. This is Rajkumar writing from Kochi. He has a query on Radhiko Khaitan. Mr. Chokalingam, he wants to ask whether or not it's a good long-term bet. What would you suggest?
I would sell now and wait for GST reform, because the government has given tremendous concession through direct taxes in terms of income tax concession. Now our Prime Minister has proposed to come out with the GST reform, and so obviously that would happen, but which would also mean that there is ultimately going to be pressure on the the fiscal revenues of the government. That has to be made up by substantially increasing the sin tax, either by state government or central government. Ultimately it has to happen, and therefore I would sell liquor stocks, enriched valuation kind of stocks. I would sell now, and post GST reform only I would consider them.
So that's the view on Radico Khaitan. Let's move on to the next question that's coming in. Okay, again, this person has not written their name. Please, viewers, keep sending in your queries with the name so that we can really attribute their questions to you. But this person wants to know, I'm having the following shares. Please advise what to do. Jindal Saw and Biocon. On the charts he made, how does Jindal Saw and Biocon look like to you? They have again not given a time horizon. So we'll take a 1 year period for both the counters.
Okay, assuming we're looking at a 1 year point of view, Ankita, Jindal Saw has had a phenomenal move, 40 to 380. Now we are correcting this whole 1.5 year move. As of now, 200 is rock solid support. I do not think that looks like breaking, at least in the near term. A short term bottom is in place. Simply put, hold Jindal Saw as of now. I believe we are on the mend, we are on a recovery mode with some ifs and buts. As long as it doesn't close below 198, I believe 250, 260 should come first. So yes, hold, and from even from a slightly longer term point of view, we've had a deeper correction, and I believe that the long term charts still are showing bullishness. So if you have a longer term view, I don't think it's a bad idea to hold on. The stock is Biocon. Looking at Biocon, we've been range bound for some time now. Frankly speaking, last 1.5 to 2 years, we've been in a big range between 290 and 400. The setup is not bad, but then 400, 410 level needs to get taken out. That happens, I think we are going to look at a possible fresh all-time high as far as Biocon is concerned. Not fair to compare stocks. So Jindal Saw looks better, but Biocon doesn't look bad either. Based on the assumption that 400 gets taken out sometime down the line, it's working towards that.
So those are the levels you can track for Jindal Saw and Biocon. But on that note, we'll take a very short break. Be right back with more of your queries to be answered on the other side. Queries coming on Garden Reach Shipbuilders. This is Ganesh writing from Bangalore. Mr. Chokalingam, let me come to you for this one. What is your view? This viewer wants to hold Garden Reach Shipbuilders for a period of more than 3 years. What would your suggestion be?
Prospect is already in the price. Any further rise, I think it's Garden Reach Shipbuilding is a good sell in my view.
All right, so that's the view coming in on Garden Reach. Let's move on to the next counter. This is Pushkar Saxena, who's writing in from Bareilly. He says he has 40 shares of L&T. He has bought it at a buying price of 344. He wants the advice for future prospects after addition of defense manufacturing facilities. He's a long-term investor in L&T. Let me come to you, Mr. Chokalingam, for this one because it's a long-term investment for L&T. What do you see? What are the prospects? I mean, it's of course, the results were very good. Even the commentary was very good. But what is your view on L&T?
Yeah, I believe it is one of the best large cap stocks in Sensex and Nifty basket. The results were good, highly diversified, all of us know. And though there is a concern on IT services, that is only 1/3 of the total profit now. And the management progress in realty, data centers, semiconductors, green energy, defense, really fabulous. The kind of initiatives they have taken, and balance sheet also extraordinarily strong in relative terms. So I think this is one of the best large cap stocks to hold for long term. Personally, I do not own the stock.
Next query is coming from the Auto Pact. This is Ekambaria writing from Hyderabad. He says that since Ola has taken a battery manufacturing unit and that has been commissioned, do you think it's the right time to enter into Ola Electric at this juncture? Please suggest the entry price that one should be looking at when it comes to Ola Electric. Hemant sir, let me come to you for this one. What is your view? What is the correct level if one wants to enter in Ola Electric?
I'll have to pass, Kanishka. I don't track Ola.
But Mr. Chokalingam, let me come to you for this one. Do you think right now is a good time to start putting their money in Ola Electric? And also, what do you think of the fundamentals? Since the viewer has also pointed out that Ola has commissioned its battery manufacturing plant. So over the long term, what are you penciling in for Ola Electric?
Basically, the kind of fundamentals it has, it doesn't fit into my universe of tracking of stocks. And secondly, yes, one should give importance to this battery manufacturing, backward integration. So because,
Okay. All right. So let's move on and take another special segment over here. We'll get back to the queries in just a bit. Now, HDFC Ergo, in partnership with PhonePe, is to offer an affordable health insurance solution to India's missing middle. Now, this collaboration leverages PhonePe's digital platform to offer accessible and comprehensive health coverage with premiums starting at just rupees 12 per day for 3 lakhs of coverage. Now, the policy is designed for individuals aged between 18 and 30, many of whom are new to insurance. Now, by tapping into the digital infrastructure of PhonePe, the missing middle of India now will have easy access to HDFC Ergo's comprehensive health insurance at an affordable premium.
All right, with that, it's time for us to slip into a short break. Don't go anywhere after the break. We'll get all your questions answered on the other side. Stay tuned. Welcome back. You're tuned in to Buy Now Sell Now with me, Ankita Saxena, and with me is Kanishka Sarkar, and we are getting all your stock-specific queries answered on this show. And we're joined by experts who are solving all your stock-related queries. Let's resume with all your questions then. Now, this question is coming in from a retired bank manager from Warangal, K. Narayana Reddy. He says that he has Polycab, he has 50 shares of Polycab. He's bought it at a buying price of 6,000 rupees. Shall I book profit at current rate, or what is the short-term target? Himen, what is the short-term target for Polycab, as he wants to know? He's clearly sitting at a profit right now. Should he book out really? Himen, you could unmute yourself. We cannot hear you.
Okay, now I'm...
Yes, you're audible now.
Yeah, sorry. I assume the short-term time frame would be around 3 to 4 weeks, not a couple of days. So assuming that is the time frame we are looking at, the first possible target for Polycab is 7319, and the second target is 7448. 7319, 7448, two targets. I believe we are heading towards 7600, but it might not be in the very short term. Yeah.
That's the view on Polycab. But moving on, we have a query coming from Chennai. Mr. Chokalingam, let me come to you for this one. This viewer has been holding over 100 shares of Bharat Dynamics, averaged over 5 years. He wants to know whether or not he can continue to hold for a period of another 2 years. What would you suggest? The results were also pretty good. So how are the fundamentals looking like for Bharat Dynamics? Do you think it's a good hold for a 2-year period?
Can hold it, because even after the recent correction, it is still valuation wise looking stretched. So if somebody wants to hold for 3-4 years, can take a little risk, then in the short term, then one can hold it.
All right, so that's the view coming in for Bharat Dynamics. Moving on to the next question. This is Krish who's writing in. He wants to know from Himen. He says he has Moscow Docks. He's bought it at a buying price of 2,300 rupees. What's your view? Is it a hold, or what should he do with Moscow Docks? So he's bought it at 2,300 Moscow. I mean, Moscow Docks is a stock that keeps on giving. It has run up so much, but at the current levels, what would be your strategy? Because he is sitting at a profit. Time to book profits, or you see more upside on this counter?
We remain safely ensconced in a longer-term uptrend, but the time frame is important. Like you mentioned very clearly, and I completely agree with you. It's been a humongous multi-bagger. 120 to 3,800. Okay, these are for adjusted prices for the split. But if a stock moves like this, valuation need to catch up. And secondly, you need some time as well as price retracement. So if your holding period is 2 years or more, only and only then do you hold. Having said that, a short-term bottom is in place. I do not believe that this level of 2620 is going to be broken in the near term. We need a close above 2784. We are heading towards 2900. So deeply oversold, it's come off significantly. A corrective bounce is underway. So I say keep a stop loss of 2648 and keep an eye on the level that I mentioned. I believe we should be at 2900 in the next 2 weeks, if I'm not wrong.
Okay, so we may be at 2900 when it comes to Mazgaon over the next 2 weeks. But the next query is a slightly longer term query. This is SK Saran writing from Bangalore. He wants to know what's the view on UPL for the long term, and also if you could suggest, Mr. Chokalingam, the entry price when it comes to UPL. How are the fundamentals looking, and at this juncture, do you think it's a good time to enter?
I don't think so. In terms of P ratio, it is around 37 times, and poor return ratios. If you look at ROE, ROCE, and stock also played out very well in the last 2 years. I think, on further rise, I would give a sell call on UPL.
Okay, so this is sell call coming in as far as UPL is concerned. Moving on to the next question, this is Venkat Ramani who's writing in from Bangalore. He says that he wants to invest 1 lakh in HAL for the period of next 15 months. Please suggest the right time to buy or wait for a correction. He may let me come to you for HAL. Now the entire defense basket is in focus today again. But for next 15 months, do you think that is a time frame enough for him to see good returns? And he wants to know what is the right time to get in also, or right now, or should he wait for a correction?
Ankita, firstly, if I can suggest, if you can increase the time frame, he's mentioned 1.5 years. If we can extend it to 2.5 years, I'd be more comfortable. Whether it's railway stocks and especially defense, most of the stocks have moved 10, if not 20 times. So once again, they need to cool off and see a significant time price retracement. Now that is what we are undergoing. So time frame of 2.5 years, I think we're comfortably looking at all-time highs. Having said that, we're in a corrective phase as of now. So if he's going to buy, do not buy everything at one go. Spread your purchases. Maybe you can even do an SIP on the stock. Having said that, levels to watch out: 4,300, 3,900, and the risk of sounding bearish, 3,500, 3,000. These 3-4 levels you need to keep in mind and spread your purchases and buy around these support levels. And if you don't want to do this situation or timing, I don't think is easy or possible. Just buy HL or a fixed amount like an SIP over the next 6 to 8 months. I think it will work out.
View on HAL, you could have a long-term view there. But moving on, this is Amin Rajput writing from Ahmedabad. They're a long-term investor. They have 1,500 shares of BEL at a price of 408. What should they look at? Mr. Chokalingam, let me come to you for this one. How are the fundamentals looking for this one? Is it what would your pecking order be when it comes to the defense pack? Where would you place BEL over there?
The stock is slightly stretched around 50 PE, but stock also corrected quite significantly. I would give a hold recommendation. I believe in the short to medium term, another 5-10% return is possible in BEL at the current price.
All right, so that's the view coming in on BEL. Let's move on to the next question then. The next question is coming in from this question is coming from Amin. This is coming from Manisha Kala, who's writing in from Mumbai. She says that she says she likes our show and loves the guidance we give. Thank you so much, Manisha, for all your compliments. Keep watching our show. She wants to know, she wants to invest 1 lakh in each Bajaj Finance, Colgate, Ultratech Cement. Please suggest, are these stocks good for a 1-year time horizon, and the rate at which she can buy these counters? Mr. Chokalingam, I'll come to you first. For a 1-year horizon, Bajaj Finance, Colgate and Ultratech Cement, are these good buys for the next 12 months?
See, all three are great companies, but Bajaj Finance, the valuation is stretched. Banking and financial growth has started moderating in the current fiscal. Colgate not able to show strong growth, and Ultratech again is a great company, but the stock pricing is, the stock is pricing in all the good news. So among these three, maybe one can buy Ultratech. Otherwise, in the large cap space, I am extremely bullish on State Bank of India and Larsen and Toubro. I believe these two valuations are comfortable, and also they assure you significant growth from the current level.
The fundamental view. But moving on, Hemant sir, let me come to you for this one. This viewer has also asked what are the rates at which he should buy if he wants to buy these stocks. Do you see any dip coming on the charts? I'll just repeat the stocks for you: Bajaj Finance, Colgate and Ultratech Cement.
Okay, Ankita, Kanishka, we'll start with Bajaj Finance. Bajaj Finance 850, 800, 750. This thing is valid only if it closes below 850. So yeah, these three levels. As far as Colgate is concerned, one gets the feeling that current levels is when you can start nibbling. It's come off from almost 3900 to sub 2200. Deep correction. I think one can start buying at current levels. And on the downside, you have supported 2080 and 1800. 1800 seems improbable. I believe you can buy at least one third at current levels as far as Colgate is concerned. And the third stock you mentioned?
Sir, third stock was Ultratech Cement.
Okay. Ultratech seems slightly elevated and it's run up significantly. So you need to buy at current levels and do a trading sort of technique, which is I wouldn't advise. So levels to watch, current levels you can buy 12,600 and 12,138, three levels to buy Ultratech Cement.
Those are the levels to watch out for on Ultratech as well. But with that, it's time for a quick breather. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You're tuned in to Buy Now Sell Now with me, Ankita Saxena, and with me is Kanishka Sarkar. And this is a show where we answer all your stock-related questions. Our experts have joined us to answer your questions. You can keep sending in your questions on the number that's flashing on top of your screens, and we'll get them answered. Let's resume with all the questions that you have been sending us. This is Subrata Mukherjee, who's writing in from Kolkata. He says that he's bought Coal India 1,000 shares at a buying price of 390 rupees. He wants a long-term advice on Coal India. Mr. Chokalingam, to you, Coal India from a long-term perspective.
I think it is a fabulous stock for long term. Last several quarters, it is going through a lot of pressure. It is not able to grow the coal dispatches and sales or sales on year-on-year basis. It is either stagnating or declining. That is why the stock price has crashed. But it is giving a dividend yield of potentially close to 7%. And second, even this morning, a lot of media covered the fact that the Power Ministry has upward revised the setting up of thermal power capacity in the country. Till 2035, the thermal capacity is going to be increased and dependence on thermal capacity will be very huge, which would augur well for Coal India. And thirdly, Coal India is setting up nearly 3,000 megawatt of captive renewable energy and expanding a lot of mines. So all these point towards excellent time ahead in the medium to long term. Maybe 1 or 2 quarter it may suffer, but medium to long term outlook looks fabulous to me.
So very positive outlook as far as Coal India is concerned over the medium to long term. But Hemant sir, let me come to you now. It's a short-term query. We already had Mr. Chokalingam talk about Bharat Dynamics. This viewer, she's writing from Bangalore. They want to know, they have 200 shares of Bharat Dynamics at a price of 1,900 rupees. They want to know whether they should add more at the current levels to average their cost, and what would be the short-term target for this stock. What would your view be? What are the charts suggesting? Their query is for a period of about 2 to 3 months.
Okay, firstly, we need to identify the stop loss. The stop loss is 1502 from a closing point of view. Currently, downside does appear limited. Short-term bottom seems to be in place. This needs to percolate or convert into medium-term positives. The first level we need to overcome in terms of closing is 1584. That happens, we are going to 1660 and 1700. That's the time they can need to sell. Buying now is advised, but you need to keep the stop loss. It's a bit risky in the sense the correction is not yet over. So if you're buying now, which is not a bad idea, then you need to be nimble. Keep a stop loss of 1457. And once it, like I said, overcomes 1629, you can expect 1660 and some more upside. So I know it sounds a bit convoluted, but you need to do the strategy because the correction is going to take time to play out, not in the time frame the investor is looking at.
Right, interesting, Hemant. That's the view on Bharat Dynamics on the charts. But let's move on to the next question. This one's coming from Ignatius, who's writing in from Kolkata. He says, I must appreciate Ankit and Kanishka for their efforts in making Buy Now Sell Now an interesting must-watch. And not to forget the technical and the fundamental analysts. Kudos to all of you. Keep it up. Thank you so much, Ignatius. You are a regular viewer and you send your queries regularly, and that is what is keeping us going. Thank you so much for watching. We'll take your query now. It is, he says that he has 50 stocks of rights that he's bought at a buying price of 358 rupees. He's been holding it for a year. Can he hold it for the next 2 years? What are the prospects for business? Mr. Chokalingam, let me come to you for a 2 years perspective on rights. Do you think it's a good hold?
Yeah, definitely. And if there is any small decline also one can buy. P is slightly stretched, but the long-term, even medium to long-term prospects look good. And the ROC is also quite decent at around 20%. And management is also talking about a lot of expansions. So it's a good to hold and buy on decline.
Okay, so that's the view on rights. But moving on to the next question then, this is Arjun writing from Kolkata again. He wants to know whether it's the right time to put their money in Emami for a period of about 7 to 8 months. Heymin sir, let me come to you for this one. What are the charts suggesting? Good buy for a 7 to 8 month period?
Yes, I think it makes sense. 7 to 8 months. I think he'll probably make money in the 4 to 5 month period also. Levels to watch: 583, 545 support, resistance 620, 645 looks good. I believe we are on the cusp of an intermediate up.
The view coming in on Emami. Let's move on to the next question. This is Dindigul who's writing in. This is Ramanan who's writing in from Tamil Nadu. He says he's purchased 1,000 shares of Bank of Maharashtra at a buying price of 66 rupees. Now he's sitting at a loss. Also, he's bought IDFC First Bank at 82 rupees. He's also sitting on a loss on that one. What is the long-term outlook, and should I exit or should he now cut his losses? For the long-term perspective, Mr. Chokalingam, what about IDFC First and Bank of Maharashtra? Should he cut his losses, or from a long-term perspective, there could be an up move?
Bank of Maharashtra fundamentals are fantastic. Net NPA is the least among the industry. And despite a slowdown in the credit growth in Q1 in the industry, Bank of Maharashtra has done extraordinarily well. So quality of asset is great, expanding the branches in a very big way for next 1 to 3 years. And it's a solid growth stock within the banking space. I won't say within PSU Bank. In entire banking space, is one of the fastest growing banks. So it's a buy for me, Bank of Maharashtra. I would prefer State Bank of India to IDFC First Bank. I prefer SBI because one, it is being a large cap, and second, valuation wise more comfortable, and third, there is a lot of opportunity for value unlocking through its subsidiaries. So therefore, I believe SBI can reward much better than IDFC First Bank.
That's the view on the banking pack. Thank you so much, Mr. Chokalingam and Heymin sir, for joining us today. Thank you so much. We'll let you go on that note, because that's all the time we have today to address all the queries of our viewers. And on that note, Ankita and I will take your leave. We'll see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. with all your queries to be answered. Until then, it's a goodbye from our side. Markets at noon will take all the action forward.